Welcome back, everybody, to Waadaplaya World Cup Discuss Series, match number 32, Punjab Super Kings. Oh my God, what happened to them? What exactly happened? They were on course for winning by 10 wickets. I watched the first half of the game, then I switched it off when Rahul and Mayank were going hammer tongs, got back to work to see they lost by 2 runs. To talk about it, we have Anil Jain, who is pseudo RR supporter, very happy today. And then we have Vishak, who will be feeling much better than yesterday because PBKS just royally choked. Welcome, guys. How did you enjoy this game and what do you make out of this?
Uh, yeah, Vishak, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so this was again something really unexpected. For some reason, I had this strange feeling. Okay, it could get exciting at the last over. Still thinking Punjab would win. Then I see 1 over 4 runs, and I'm like, why didn't Punjab finish this in the 19th over itself? And then yeah, Kartik Tyagi bowled really great over, I think, and Puran and Markham, and I think Huda also, they completely missed the trick. Yeah, what a game! The T20 format in such a way that you make one mistake for 1 over, and then it kind of costs you the entire match. Yeah, we'll come back later to those overs from Huda when Rajasthan was batting and where Rajasthan also went wrong. But at the end, they came on the right side. Yeah.
And Vishak, like Syed mentions, high scoring matches are supposed to be a thriller. But this one looked boring. Was it boring in any stretch of imagination?
I think the first 19 overs of the chase looked one-sided, except the last over. I think, uh, I think more like Kartik Tyagi definitely did bowl well. He bowled to his plan, bowled to his field, but it is poor execution from Punjab Kings. 4 runs from the last over. The first ball was a full toss, and it was missed. And he could have hit a boundary and finished it over there. Instead, he hits it straight to the fielder. Then a wild slog for single. Then Puran tries to just nudge it to third man and gets out. Like still 3 of 3 can be done. A new batsman, but there will always be pressure. And you're chasing wide deliveries and missing out on some wides. Ridiculous, absolutely. And 1 ball 3, I think then Punjab was on top because sorry, Rajasthan was definitely on top to win it at that point of time. But I was at one point definitely expecting a super over, thinking it will be 2 runs of the last ball, and it might go into a super over. But it was absolutely ridiculous batting in the last over.
Hmm. And Anil, there is a lot of talk on social media about youngsters making impact in this game. What do you think? Sudeep Tyagi definitely in the last over, but Arshdeep Singh starting off with a fifer in a T20
Yeah.
game. What are your thoughts there?
I mean, he just didn't bowl like, you know, to the play. He changed his variation so nicely. It wasn't just those lucky wickets. Also, everything was planned. This guy understands how to bowl in T20. So he looks like a great prospect. At least for Punjab, I don't know. For India, it's still time, but definitely the young guns are definitely making an impact. You have Loma, you have Chaser also playing great games. Also, another thing is that in the first 6 seasons, or the last 4 seasons at least, the fivers have been taken by uncapped players while they were playing. So you had Harsha, you had Varun, now you have, Ashadev, right? So all the young guns are making an impact for themselves, and I guess the seniors really have to try hard.
And they gave Karthik Tyagi, by the way, player of the match, understandably so. If you can defend
Yeah.
less than 6 runs in a T20 game, when opposition side has 6 wickets in hand, and international players are there, I mean, I still cannot make sense of what exactly happened to Punjab Kings. And Anil Kumble and KL Rahul completely looked clueless, especially KL Rahul's press conference sounded like he has not won a match for 20 years. That's how he sounded. So, what would you tell your team if you were KL Rahul today?
I mean, it's not the first time that's happened with him. It's with KL Rahul and with Punjab. I think they've lost some matches which they were supposed to win, and I think that's the reason why they're always on the 6, 7, 8 position where they lose out by thinness of margin. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would tell to my team. Hey guys, we played such a great cricket for 39 overs. Yeah, but we end up on losing side. Yeah.
And Vishak, Tammy asked a question: Punjab lost due to pressure or quality of opposition?
I would say their own quality of batsmen rather than batsmanship. See, first thing mistake they did, they went with only five genuine batsmen and too many bowling options, and still could not restrict the opposition to a good score. And if you have so many bowlers and you still leak 180 odd, there's no use of going with only five batsmen or around 7 to 8 bowlers. Literally. So that is where I think they did a mistake. And if you see, there were only four top four were international players. Deepak Huda is still an uncapped player, and you're banking on your Harpreet Brar and Fabian Allen to bat at 6 and 7 and finish your games. That's not going to happen always. I think they need to look at their batting order. And first thing they made a mistake is dropping the birthday boy today. They shouldn't have dropped him, and he definitely could have made a big impact over there because when after that big partnership, he could have killed the game within 18th or 19th over. So I think that was one big mistake. They need a serious look on their batting order, and they need to sort that out as quickly. Now they have to win every match because this is the only team which has played 10 games. So they need to sort it out quickly and start winning every game from now onwards.
Firstly,
Also,
they
also when Yeah, no, I was saying Vishak pointed out, nice stuff that they all had all the bowlers, but still KL Rahul went for experiment, went with Huda. No, I didn't understand that part. He was expensive. He wasn't able to control the runs, and also I don't know why you want to experiment when you have such good bowling lineup. You have a strong bowling lineup as such. So again, and that's where they also went, 20, 30 odd runs. Rajasthan managed to score easily. Yeah.
okay. 15 balls, 10 runs needed, losing by 2 runs is shocking. And so we have Sid Sharma who hopped on. How was the last over of a 40 over game, Sid Sharma?
I think we lost it uh, an over earlier because you had like 15 balls and 10 runs to make, and they were just not there. And uh, I mean, I know that Rajasthan should have played Fizz a little earlier, uh, and they were saving the best of his overs for later. So I realized moment there's Fizz in the game and overs there. I don't think we were going to make it. It was just not possible because both of the players, right, Aiden Markram, comes with a pedigree but hasn't played in IPL kind conditions. And I was actually very skeptical of Markram because he hasn't played quality spin. I know he comes from Sri Lanka, but I mean the tour. But at the end of the day, that practice it wasn't there, and to close matches, you needed that match practice. So I was somewhere thinking that it could be an issue.
But is Markram the scapegoat, or what is one reason Punjab Kings lost? I still cannot figure this out. What could be one reason they lost?
I think it's multiple reasons actually. If you start from the bowling itself, uh, uh, we weren't really there. I mean, if you take away the exploits of Shami and Arshdeep, there was this big over of Deepak Huda, and I always felt that why did we play Bishnoi? We had good bowling depth. Why, so that itself raises some questions on the team selection itself. Also, I mean, this was the best start any team could think of. So why weren't we ticking the runs? Why were we so obsessed with the boundaries and not just scoring in right areas? Well, somewhere we went for flash, and that kind of hit us.
Yeah, so RR after the wonderful start they got, right? They would definitely, as Syed points out, they would be definitely disappointed that they did not get to 200 plus. And I think even at the break, one of the batsmen actually pointed that out, saying they should have ideally got 200 and they were short. So, so what do you think they should have got? Because they definitely looked at 15 overs, they were around 150 or 155, and then they end up at 180 odd. So definitely they were 15 to 20 runs short.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think Romra, even though he played such a wonderful knock, 16 balls, 43, what he could have done is that, stayed for another over, because after that there was no proper batsman. I mean, he's young per se, so obviously he made that mistake to again go and start knocking again. But just that one more over, then, if he would have gone along, and then that they would have been able to reach at 200. Someone like Samson, Livingstone, they all have to do their part. Samson has to make sure that he stays there in the inning. Jeswa and all, he's a quality player, but he can't take on the pressure. He can't, take the innings towards the end. So some senior person has to be there, and that's what I think Rajasthan Royal missed out. And Punjab, I think initially they were lucky. There were three catches that were dropped for KL Rahul, and Rajasthan has been really, they've been gifting KL Rahul. Like KL Rahul has been dropped 8 times, I think, in the IPL, and out of those 4 times were Rajasthan Royal. So they're like, hey, we're gonna drop your catches, but we're gonna come back and end at the end movement. So that's something like that.
And one of the things that I felt that as a batsman, I know there were some decisions that might not go your way, and I felt somewhere in the last 4 overs for Kings 11 Punjab, if the umpire is not giving that a wide, it's fine. If the umpire is saying that okay, you are not getting a dead ball there, you should just keep calm and carry on. Especially with the situation that Punjab was in, and I felt that somewhere, I mean, when I was seeing those chats between the umpire and the player, I felt that they were reading too much between the lines.
Yeah.
That's true.
Why was Huda, playing before Allen? Isn't Allen like an international player? Like, has some experience. So what's with the team selection for Punjab? We need to think about it. What was Kumble and K. Rahul exactly thinking here? Why
They
is not
definitely are
Bisnoy not playing?
overthinking. I think
Yeah,
they
like,
in the spirit of being creative, they are losing basics of having batters,
I think we've
bowlers, and
lost
specialists in the team.
Subhan.
As simple as that.
And the first half, right, they packed their side with the batsmen and they were short of
uh,
bowlers. Today they did the exact opposite, packed their side with bowlers, could not defend could not restrict the opposition, and short of batsmen. So they are not getting. See, with that squad they have, they can never get that. I think in the first half I had mentioned this point. They can never get their combination right because that is the
Yes.
kind of squad they have. They don't have that proper all rounders who can bat at number 6 and 7 like many other teams have.
Ishak, like
I'm not.
you,
I mean,
Syed is
and I
saying that
really think that if we are looking for that elusive all-rounder in Huda, I don't think he's the first choice there. I mean, he had a one-off match where he was able to hit those runs out of the park, but he's not the elusive all-rounder who's going to bring that balance to the team. It was pretty evident today when he was batting and bowling that he is not the one. So I felt it was one. I think somewhere Punjab was looking for the Tewatia in Huda, and it's just not clicking for them. I felt that anybody else could have been in that place, maybe a Bishnoi, maybe somebody else. And apart from the team selection, which was an obvious issue, I feel the match temperament was an issue. I mean, you are straight away blooding someone like a Aiden Markram into an IPL match. And I think Aiden Markram was a light for life replacement for David Malan, if I'm not wrong. So why did you let go of such a player in middle of a season? So somewhere there are too many changes, which always hits the team combination. And mind you, this Rajasthan Royals team is playing without their marquee players. And if you just put Jofra Archer and Stokes and others into the mix up, it's a very difficult team to beat. So somewhere I felt that Punjab lost to a lesser Rajasthan Royals team.
Yeah. And today, the meme community will have a field day for Punjab Kings, especially. So I can't wait for the memes to come out. And I think the point you made, Anil, Kenny is also making that Rajasthan Royals dropped three catches today. Overall, looks like 14 catches this season. Still winning. So Kenny thinks it is definitely credit to
I
opponent
think.
for Rajasthan Royals winning. And then Chris Gale would have finished with a six. Dubey asks who's calling the shots, Kumble or KL from a team selection. I think that's a great
Kumble.
question.
Kumble. Kumble.
Yeah, definitely.
And that for Sanjay, for Syed's comment, it would have finished with a six. I don't think the match would have gone to the 20th over if Gale was there.
Yes.
He would have finished it far earlier.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No,
Actually,
that's
this match
what the
wouldn't have got us
experience
to there.
speaks. Yeah. And
Sorry,
then
Anna.
the selection. No, I was saying that's what the experience brings you, right? Never wait till the 20th over to finish it. And then in terms of team selection, I mean, Nicholas Puran had an average of single digit in the first leg of the IPL, and they didn't even think of getting Malan into the team. I don't know why, and he was still the number one T20 batsman back then. So I don't know what the management there is thinking. Uh, yeah. So I think Punjab losses are more because of their own fault rather than the other team playing well. So that's the
100%.
main reason.
And the biggest
And
shocker, I think Syed summarizes. This came to my mind. I think Vishak, when we did the fantasy yesterday, we said pick Shah Rukh Khan. And to get two foreign spinners, they sacrificed Shah Rukh Khan, who did so well in leg one. I
Yes.
mean, he would have done better job with an Huda. So, Anil, you summarized it well.
and
These losses they have
In fact,
only
I
themselves
think
to
Deepak
blame.
Huda should have been there. They should
Hmm.
have gone with Shah Rukh Khan instead of Fabian Allen, maybe, and played Ravi Bishnoi instead of
Ravi Bishnoi
Adil
was definitely
Adil
he's the
Rashid. That would have been a much better.
yeah, the best leg spinner we have currently in the IPL. If I have to say, Ravi Bishnoi is amazing. Plus, he's a great fielder, the field person also. So I really don't know why he wasn't picked.
Maybe some mystery like Ravichandran Ashwin, because Ravi Bishnoi in the leg one also started getting discarded for some reason. So they say that he had attitude issues, but hopefully it is not. Um, okay, so should we take a look at the points table, which has gone very interesting now? We have
Uh,
CSK sitting on the top with 12 games. Delhi Capitals tomorrow are going to play Sunrisers, so that will be interesting. And then RCB, Mumbai Indians, Rajasthan Royals, and KKR. All of them are gunning in for the fourth slot. So getting a little busy in the middle of the table.
Yeah, that those two losses yesterday, right, have completely mixed up the table. No, like only the top two teams look more certain now, and the rest two spots are up for grabs. As I said, like even the top two teams are not assured yet, but they are at least kind of safe. They don't have to. They don't have to worry much. But the rest of the teams are all part of the league where they have to fight and get into the top four. So it's getting those two matches have made the league interesting. And today, I think Rajasthan winning it has made it tough for Punjab also.
Hmm. So Sid and Anil, what do you think? The top two are more or less done. We have two spots and what, four teams gunning for it?
I think the way the contest is going on, it's gonna be closer. So even with two wins, so if Chennai and Delhi get that two wins, they're comfortably at 16 points, then they're definitely gonna qualify. If things goes bad, even RCB may not qualify. So it's not completely sure. You know how Mumbai picks up late, so even Mumbai has a great chance. And if Kolkata comes together like they did against RCB, even they have a great chance. Rajasthan, I'm still not sure because they didn't look perfect. Uh, but yeah, I see a competition between Kolkata and Mumbai and RCB for the third, fourth slot.
Sid, any surprises coming up on the table? Will
Uh,
Sunrisers, who
well,
are
in
going
the
to play
great words
tomorrow,
of
win?
Sarfaraz, same thing. Uh, I feel that no team is really safe after Delhi down there because when and that's what makes these matchups really interesting because uh, all the 3 4 teams in the end have to now win every match from here and probably by a better net run rate. So we would see a lot of changes. We already saw what we saw yesterday wasn't really a cliffhanger, but these are some of and today's match was a cliffhanger for sure. So I think that it will be one of those IPLs again where you would see some unfortunate team dropping out because of net run rate.
And I
Okay,
think
and
to play spoil sport, it will be SRH. SRH will win some of these matches, and they're gonna bring those teams down. I mean, yeah. To Saya's question, it's not gonna qualify for playoff
yeah,
definitely.
looks a miracle, but yeah, when miracles do happen, we will see if they do. This will be the first time after they were formed that they will miss out on playoffs. Sunrisers. Big question, $1 million questions. Will Warner be back
That's a very
tomorrow?
touching question.
No
Those
brainer,
visuals I think.
no brainer. He has to be back because there is no other opener in the squad. The only question is right question should be who will open with Warner. So that would be my question because whether it will be Williamson or will they go with Saha? Because they were keeping with they had Bairstow as the wicket keeper. Now Bairstow is not playing, so they have to get Saha in.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
where will they play Saha now? If Saha is playing, where will Williamson play? So this will be the question they have to answer, and who will open with Warner? That will be
Hmm.
crucial.
And who are the four overseas? Roy, Warner, Williamson, Rashid.
Roy is not there, right?
Williamson.
Roy
It
is
will be
not there. So Rashid,
Warner,
Williamson, Warner
Williamson.
confirmed.
I think it will be Holder and Rashid along
Holder,
with Warner and
Holder and
Williamson.
Rashid, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think Syed pointing it out what was on my mind too. They should go back to the basics again. Get Warner and Saha to open, which was a good combination left and right. Both complement well. Get Williamson number three and pray for the middle order to come through. Manish Pandey is back into action tomorrow, by the way.
The only happy thing that I when I see SRH match is that the way Williamson bats. I think he's a top class T20 batsman. If I have to say, he reads the game so well. That's the only part that gives me happiness when I look at an SRH match as well.
Yeah, Williamson is fantastic. But he won't have any Pakistani fans supporting him, unfortunately, anymore, due to obvious reasons. Anyway, so tomorrow Delhi Capitals are back, table toppers. Let's see if SRH will upset them like the first 3 days of the game has been for the second leg
I
of
don't think
IPL.
that's
A
happening.
lot of shaking of heads are happening, Sid. We will speak tomorrow if SRH do win. I need you to be back on the show so that you can
Okay,
continue to
okay.
the shake the head. But listen,
Sure.
Vishak, Sid and Anil Jain, thanks for hopping on. It has been a dramatic Punjab Super Kings. I want to be in that dressing room to see what Kumble and KL Rahul are talking about, whether they're bashing the team or are they saying, we are sorry, guys, we messed up. It'll be interesting. But Rajasthan Royals will be cock a hoop. Thanks, Sid, Vishak, and Anil Jain. And folks who were engaging on comments, really appreciate it. Drop us a comment, drop us a like, and we'll be back tomorrow again with the next game Punjab Super Kings versus Sunrisers. Thanks, chaps.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thanks, everyone.